Alrighty, with our last problem here, we're going to talk about the Burj Khalifa, which is actually the tallest building in the world. You can find it in Dubai, but we know that the Burj Khalifa is the tallest building in the world. If the actual height is 829.8 meters, what is the size of the scale drawing? So this one is going to be a little bit different, so you have to be very careful whenever you read through these problems. We are given that same scale, so I'm going to pull that out, and I'm going to say we know that 1 centimeter is equal to 100 meters. But notice here that the question is asking us for the size of the scale drawing. So right now, I don't know what this height is. They're telling me that the actual image is 829.8 meters. So our work is going to be pretty much the same. What's going to be different is whenever we try to figure out how to set up our scale. So what is key here is to be able to remember that you're always matching up your units. So if they give me meters, I need to make sure I'm putting that in the right spot and putting it underneath my meters. Everything we have done before, we were given our scale drawing, so I always matched up to the centimeters. However, here, since they're giving me the meters, I have to make sure I'm matching that up. But we're still going to go about and find our scale factor the same way. So I draw my arrows in, so I'm going to take the end of my arrow, 829.8 divided by 100, and then figure out what that scale factor is. So I'm dividing by 100, so I can move my decimal 2 places over. So my scale factor is 8.298. So then I'm going to go ahead and use that same scale factor to multiply here. So 1 times 8.298 tells me that the scale image of my picture is 8.298 centimeters tall. So this one, again, was different because I was given the information about the actual building. I needed to figure out how tall it was on the scale drawing. So I matched up my units, and then I still found, oops, I can see my error here. I'm sorry if that confused you now that I'm re-talking about it. I had to make sure I was matching up my units. So meters to meters, I'm looking for centimeters, so I keep underneath there blank. And then, of course, you can always go about your second method. So when I was going from centimeters to meters here, I knew that my scale factor was to multiply by 100, but if I'm going backwards, what's the opposite of multiplication? Division. So we're doing that same work, but since we're going back to the original, we would just be dividing by 100, which would still give us that same answer of 1.29 centimeters.